Good day and welcome to the debut edition of Express Tracks. We're talking Windsor Express basketball. Of course, their anniversary season has already begun. They're off to a 1-2 start, but they'll get that turned around. Big game again this week. They'll travel to London to take on the Lightning. They're coming off a victory, their home opener, a great outing for the Express, and a really nice crowd to start things off. Hopefully, those crowds continue to build for the Express. They've worked extremely hard in the off season, and you know what? The one thing that they have been is consistent. Dardis Willis still working hard as the president, managing director of this team, and the head coach, which I think is the best thing with the team right now. He's back for another season. That, of course, is Coach Bill Jones. Good day to you, Coach Jones, and thanks for doing this with us. And I'm excited all season long. We're going to be talking to you and some of your players and featuring some of the fans, some of the community partners with the Express on this show. Every week we'll have a new show for our Express fans, and just really delighted to be part of it with you.
Thank you, Dom. I appreciate you for getting this on the tracks. And my first ever coaching show, and also to being able to promote the Windsor Express, our brand, and then some of our community partners, and then definitely the product and our players, and being to get to know them. I think that'll be great, and I'm looking forward to it for the rest of the season.
Yeah, we're thrilled about it as well, Coach. And before we get into what's going on with the season and the games right now, Coach, I want to go to the off season. Again, one thing that I really admire about the Express and yourself is how much time you put into recruiting and all the scouting work that you do. You actually traveled around a little bit to hold camps, various tryouts, and there was no stoppage of work for you in the off season. You were working at this thing. Talk to me about doing that, and is it paying dividends?
You know what? I'm going into my 10th year here with the Express. I'm excited to being able to continue doing good work within our community. But you talk about our never-ending scouting process, and we do that, and we take pride in that. We go out to Vegas. We're able to scout some players out there, and then we do have our own combines and tryouts throughout the summer. We typically have 5. We did 2 in Chicago. We did 1 in Ohio, 1 in Windsor, and then we also did 1 in Detroit. So that's a part of our development. We give players the opportunity to come to be recognized. We do have some of our other partners from other teams to being able to evaluate them as well. So that's the fun part of my job, is to being able to scout and scour for new talent.
It's hard to believe that this is the 10th year already, Coach, for the team, for yourself. You've become part of our community, no doubt about it. The Express are a part of our community. They work extremely hard to create and develop partnerships. But on the court itself, it's been turnover. You've got a couple of championships. Obviously, players have moved on. This league is still evolving, and the caliber of play, I'm sure, is evolving as well. So what are you looking for in a player now compared to maybe, in year one when you started compared to now? How much has the league evolved, and is the playing personnel different?
Definitely. The playing personnel obviously is different in terms of talent. When we first came on board, you had your typical players. You had a 5, which was a big bruiser. You had a 4 that was also a guy that can go inside and out. Your 3s were athletic, and your point guards and 2s were good players and did things well. But now basketball has changed so much. Now everyone is out there trying to shoot 3-point shots. So you got to be able to have 5s that can shoot 3s and 4 that are stretch 4s now, and your point guards are super fast, and you still are athletic. So the game has evolved, and that's what we kind of do as a coach. You try to change. For the first time, we changed our system to kind of to identify or mimic the way that the NBA is being played. There's a lot of ball movement, a lot of screen and rolls, and things like that. So that's the one thing about coaching. It's about to being able to evolve and get better each and every day, and that's why I love my job and I respect basketball.
Yeah, well, it's why you're still coaching because you've made the changes as time goes on, and that's key for any coach today. They have to adapt to some of the times. Is it better though, Coach? Would you rather see maybe a little more old school stuff, or do you like the 3 point
You
game?
know what? I was a capable 3 point shooter when I played, but I was a mid range guy, 15 to 17 feet. So, as a coach, you get mad when a guy comes down in the first pass and then he's jacking up a 25 or 30 footer.
Yeah,
Where we
yeah.
shoot the ball and we look for good shots. So that's the evolution of the game. I would like to see a little bit more ball movement, a little bit more of each player touching the ball instead of coming down one pass in the shot. So that's
How,
what.
you mentioned everybody's got to be able to shoot a three. How does that change the chemistry on the floor, on the court, Coach? I mean, everybody wants the ball, I would imagine.
That's what it is. Everyone wants to be like Steph Curry. Everyone wants
Yeah.
to shoot the ball and turn away before the ball goes in the basket. So the NBA players nowadays have got players hooked. So I think that the one thing that I like is that with the opportunity of a lot of players shooting threes, is the court is spaced out, so it gives a lot of driving angles. Gives a good individual player the opportunity to go one on one. So that part of the game, I really like the way that it was spacing. Back in my day, you had a shrunk floor where the floor was congested and it wasn't very many driving lanes. But now everybody is spotted out to the 3 point line, and you got to guard them, and that opens the court.
10th anniversary for the Express. You've been there for every year. Mr. Willis has been there for every year. How exciting is it that one, you've made it to 10 years, which is an accomplishment in itself, and two, is this going in the right direction, Coach? Is the excitement there that's needed?
It is. I mean, and I think the one thing that Dardis and I and the ownership group, which we understood, was to gain one fan at a time. We hear a lot of no's, but
Mhm.
we do hear some yeses, and those are the ones that keep us getting up every day. That's our passion, is to try to get one fan at a time. And now to being able to see approximately 2,500 at our first home game and our 10th anniversary, and then to go out and get a victory. So it makes us feel great about that. And just left a meeting with our front office people, and the excitement and the enthusiasm is still within us to going out
Mhm.
a good product. And then we have some good things coming this season.
Yeah, and we'll talk to Mr. Willis about some of the promotions. I know he's got a lot of plans this year. They're already happening, actually. The first game, there was already some ceremonies and things like that. And this is going to be throughout the season, which I think is great. And hopefully it'll get that even bigger fan interest going for the Express, which they so deserve. Let's get talking about the team then, Coach. A lot of our viewers here are going to want to know what you think about the personnel, the offseason moves. And I know we're only 3 games into it. There's still time. And this team's still going to be tweaked, I'm sure, as you go along. You'll make some changes. But talk to me about the starting roster right now and the personnel you brought in.
So what we tried to do was obviously continuity. We started playing well towards the end of the season last year, and then constructing the team this year. We tried to get the bulk of those guys back. So we have our best player, Billy White, who was he was an MVP of the league, two-time
Mhm.
champion. So he's our anchor, and then to be able to bring a good point guard back in Nick Garth. Jakai Taylor is another one of our star players. Unfortunately, he lost his mom at the start of the season, so he's been gone for about a month. We're looking forward to having him back, and not this game tomorrow against London, but our next home game. Who's a outstanding player. He's exciting. The fans love him. He's a fan favorite. We had Tanner Stuckman that's back. That's much improved. He's playing well. He's cracked the starting lineup now, and we're looking for great things for him. Will Claiborne, who's working his way into condition, he came into camp with a few bumps and bruises. So I'm excited about the team. I have a vision of these guys being special this year, especially if they play the way that we want them to play. I brought back one of my trusted generals, and Aaron McDonald, who's been a coach with us
Yep.
past championship years. He's a great young coach. He coached his own team in the States for 2 years. Now he has experience to come back and lead our defense. So I'm excited about the group that we have here. We were together for 10 days and we played our first game. But this is we're a work in progress, like you hear me say a lot, and I'm looking forward to seeing the development in this group.
Yeah, Coach McDonald is intense, and he is a stickler for detail, isn't he?
Yeah, he is, and like I say, he's a trusted general.
Sure.
One where I can turn the defense over to him and allow him the latitude to be able to put together a game plan, and just like he did against Sudbury, where Jalen Bland had 41 points against us the first game, and we shut him down, and we said we weren't going to let him beat us. And Coach constructed the defense to double him every chance we get. We limited him to 27 points, only 7 in the second half. So that was good, and we got to do the same thing in London on tomorrow.
Before we get to the London game and what's coming up, Coach, let's talk about the first 3 games. Then let's get that out of the way. A couple of road games, one in Sudbury to start the season, came up short there. Then it was to London. Again, the rivalry with London Windsor, just like any other sport, is huge. Unable to come up with a victory there. You bounce back at home though against Sudbury with a victory in your home opener. What have you seen in the first 3 games of your team? And I guess, again, there's no reason to panic. We're early in the season here. And as you just mentioned, it's a work in progress. But in the first 3 games, what comes to mind to you, Coach, that immediately needs to be addressed?
So obviously it's conditioning. This guy's getting back to playing professional basketball. I've learned, or what I noticed, is our guys didn't come in tip-top shape. We had 10 days of training camp before our first game. We went out and played Sudbury. We played well the first half, but we ran out of gas. And we ended up losing that game by 13. We scored 41 points in the first half. We ended up leading at halftime, and then the second half, we just, those guys had played before. No excuses, but, that's the reality. Our guys struggled in the second half because of conditioning. Then we came back, a good couple days of practice. I thought we would have played well, but London had lost their first game at home with their banner ceremony. They lost one of their key players in terms of suspension, so they had an axe to grind. And then also playing against us, the rivalry game, and, they came out and they gave it to us. We played well for 12 minutes, and then we bounced back against Sudbury at home. First game. So I see us turning the corner. We wanted to not have a terrible month. We savaged the month, winning the game at home, but we got to do a better job on the road. We got to be able to find ways to pull out games on the road, and I think we'll be able to do that moving forward.
How tough is it, Coach Jones, to bring that home game effort, home game mentality, and put it and implement it into a road game?
So as a coach, as a veteran coach that have typically had veteran players, we usually don't shoot around on road games just to kind of get guys an opportunity to rest in, and then also sometimes facilities in the area stuff to come by. But you got young players, and you got to be able to change and evolve. And we talked about that in coaching, where now you got to be able to change your whole plans. You got to be able to get guys up in the morning and get them in the gym, get them thinking about basketball before we take the bus. So that's a change that we'll implement moving forward to our road games, and hopefully we'll see a difference in how we prepared and then how we perform.
You'll see quite a bit of London in the next bit. I know you'll be back at home next week with Newfoundland, with team from out east. But London is going to be around quite a bit. The schedule is. I was looking at the schedule, and there's a lot of back-to-back games with teams. Do you like that coach, or I mean, it is what it is, I guess.
And I'll say that, Dom. It is what it is. I'm a player. I typically just look at the game at hand. But I know it gets tough for the fans to say, all right, you play London tomorrow, then you'll play them again next Friday, and then you go back to London next Wednesday and things like that. But that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate that the teams aren't where we want them in terms of our league. We got 4 teams, and then we're playing against some of the teams in the TBL. But I think as people rebound and get out of COVID, I think some of our teams in Canada will come back, and we'll be able to have a schedule that we had in the past where you just won't be seeing the same teams 3 or 4 times in games. So I know our league, and I know our board of governors are working to try to bring some new teams in the fold that can be able to change that. But it's good basketball.
Mm.
The thing about it is we get to prepare. It's like a playoff type of setting, right? When you're playing a team 2 and 3 times, you just got to be able to adjust and be able to take care of business.
You're reading my mind, Coach. I was going to say this is almost like a playoff thing, so it's not really all that bad when that rivalry is created and you know each other so well. It just creates for a tougher contest, which is good for the fans, I guess. The other nice thing, though, is you've got a nice mix in of some U.S.-based teams again. Experimented with this last year. We're going to see some of those teams again this year, I believe. How important is that, to get that going throughout the season? And it creates a different look for your players as well.
It does. Obviously, we won't go to the States and play, but last year we did. We played in Indiana, we played in Lansing, and we played in Ohio. So some of our players that parents can't get over to Canada for whatever reason got a chance to see their family members play. I remember in talking to Jakai, who just lost his mom was able to come and see him play in those 3 games we played. So that was something that was special for him that he'll remember for the rest of his life. But what we're trying to do, and I guess from my experience over in Europe, is trying to maybe build a heck of a super league or a heck of a North American league where we get our 5 or 6 best teams in Canada and their 5 or 6 best teams in the TBL, and then we play and we have a Canadian champion and a TBL champion, and we play and it becomes something that's really special. We'll be able to advertise and get on TV, being able to hopefully get you to cover the games and be the guy with WeTV to be able to handle everything. So that's what I think our leagues are working towards. I think it's some good things that are definitely on the rise.
Well, like I said, Coach, we're certainly happy to be doing this show, and we hope hopefully we can contribute just to create some exposure for the Express and for the league. Also, down the road, who knows what may happen, but it's going in a good direction, that's for sure. And just to remind everybody, if you need any Windsor Express information, tickets, schedules, you want to see what the bios on the players, go to their website, windsorexpress.ca. All the information's there. Of course, the NBL of Canada has their website for the league stuff. Each week, we're going to be here, though, with the Express, with Coach Jones. We'll also be talking to some of the players throughout the year. We'll be checking out stats. We'll have some features. This is just the kickoff show, folks, and no better guy to kick it off with than the bench boss himself, Coach Bill Jones, who, again, we're so excited that he's back at the helm. Coach, depending on when people are watching this show, because that's the beauty of streaming, it can be watched at any time. Of course, you're going to be in London tomorrow night, and again, we talk about the rivalry. This is a game that even though we're early in the schedule, I'm sure you're going to want to find a way to put a victory together, or make it tough on London. That's for sure. What do you expect when you see them for the second time this season?
So they just got back on a tough trip out in Newfoundland. They played well. They won 3 games in a row out there. Tough travel.
I think we just lost Coach Jones. So, okay. Well, on that note, I don't know if we'll be able to get Coach Jones back, but this is the inaugural show of the Express Tracks featuring the Windsor Express. Coach Jones is back with us. Are you there, Coach?
Yeah, I am. We had a little snack.
Okay.
But we're back.
Yeah.
So you know what? I watched the tape last night of our first game with them. I had to burn it out. Tell the guys, it's a new month. Uh, so let's look at the way that we played the other day, and we'll be okay. We just got to be able to not let people have big nights on us. Play our type of basketball, ball movement, get up and down, play fast, and keep them from scoring over 100 points. So I think we'll be ready. I'm looking forward to practice and get these guys going today and get them motivated to do it. I think that's one of my specialties is getting our team ready to play, and I'm looking forward to it.
You have us motivated, Coach. It's all good. Look forward to this, and appreciate you giving us some of your time. I know you're extremely busy, but love the fact that you're going to be doing this show each week with us and talking Express basketball. And we're looking forward to some good things with this team this year as they celebrate their 10-year anniversary. So have a safe trip tomorrow, Coach. We'll check you out again next week. We'll talk more Express basketball. And until then, take care. Stay safe.
Thanks, Dom. I appreciate it. Looking forward to our fans tuning in on the show. We got some great things to come, some features, and then also getting the opportunity to meet our players. So thanks a lot. See you next week.
That's Coach Bill Jones, and that's our first edition of the Windsor Express show, the Express Tracks, as we call it. Hope you enjoyed it. Give us some feedback if you want. Check us out on our YouTube page or check us out on the We Digital website. And be sure to tune in each week for a new, fresh edition of Express Tracks. On behalf of everybody here at We Digital Productions, this is Dominic Papa wishing you a great day. Take care, everybody.